The moment my mother said it, the table went silent. Forks froze midair, glasses stopped clinking, and every pair of eyes slowly turned toward me. "You should leave," she said calmly, almost politely, "and stop depending on the family. You're old enough now." For a second, I thought she was joking. It was a holiday lunch, after all. The house smelled like roasted turkey and cinnamon, laughter still hanging in the air from moments before. But her face was firm, distant, like she had been waiting a long time to say those words. My chest tightened, my ears rang, and I felt something inside me crack. I didn't argue. I didn't cry. I didn't defend myself. I simply nodded, stood up, and quietly walked to my room, while everyone pretended not to watch. Behind the closed door, my hands were shaking as I packed a small suitcase. Each folded shirt felt like a goodbye to years of trying to belong. I had helped pay bills when money was tight, babysat my siblings, skipped my own plans with family again and again. But somehow, in her eyes, I was still the burden. As I dragged my suitcase down the hallway, my aunt whispered, "Maybe this will teach you independence." My younger brother avoided my eyes. My mother didn't even stand up. She just took a sip of her drink and said, "Good luck." I walked out into the cold afternoon air with nothing but my bag and my pride. The first weeks were brutal. I slept on a friend's couch, worked double shifts, and ate cheap food just to get by. There were nights I stared at the ceiling, replaying that lunch over and over, wondering how my own family could discard me so easily. But something else grew alongside the pain: determination. If they thought I was nothing without them, I would prove them wrong. I took every extra hour I could get at work. I enrolled in a short professional course at night, even when exhaustion burned behind my eyes. I stopped waiting for anyone's approval. Slowly, opportunities opened. A better job, a small apartment of my own, then a promotion that doubled my income. For the first time in my life, everything I had was mine. Months later, I stopped hearing from my family entirely, until my phone rang one evening. It was my mother. Her voice was softer, careful. She said there had been financial problems. Bills were piling up. Could I help just this once? She said families should support each other. I didn't answer right away. I let the silence stretch, long and uncomfortable. Then I told her I would come by the next holiday lunch. When I walked into that same house, heads turned again, but this time for a different reason. I was calmer, confident, wearing the success they never believed I could achieve. The table was set just like before, but the energy was tense. My mother smiled nervously and gestured for me to sit. Halfway through the meal, she started talking about how hard things had been and hinted again about money. I gently set down my fork and looked around the table. Every face was watching me now. "I remember the last holiday lunch," I said quietly, "when I was told to leave and stop depending on the family." My mother's smile faded. I listened. I left, and I stopped depending on anyone. I paused, letting my words sink in. That decision changed my life. I learned my worth the day I walked out that door. The room was silent. I stood up, thanked them for the meal, and added, "I hope you understand. I can't help. Not because I don't care, but because I finally learned to care about myself." As I walked out, no one stopped me. Outside, the air felt lighter than it ever had. This time, I wasn't leaving in shame or pain. I was leaving by choice, strong, independent, and free. And I knew they would never look at me the same way again.